been telling story times now for a couple years. I've told you guys from everything of getting caught smoking to passing out from smoking to doing all kinds of sneaking out to smoke. And I've talked a little bit about tripping. I don't talk too much about it just because some of the stories aren't even that interesting to be completely real. Like when you really think about it, like, yeah, maybe for you in that moment, it was kind of cool or trippy or whatever and may have seemed bigger at the moment, but generally, I try to keep it to more like something interesting actually happened kind of story. And I have got one for you today, and I think it's time that we get back into the tripping category. And this one in particular was a pretty interesting one for me, not just because of necessarily the trip and what I saw, but also just the experience all around. What is going on, people of Earth? My name is Chilly Dilly, back at you with another chill-ass video, man. Today I have a pretty interesting one for you, man. Today I'm going to be talking about tripping at the beach. Well, yeah, off-rip, doesn't sound that interesting, and I would completely agree for you. Sorry if I'm looking frantic, I'm looking for a lighter. Which brings me to today's sponsor of the video. Shout out to JK Distro and their amazing THCA flower that I have been trying for years and do love. And I think it's just one of the best out there in terms of finding something for everybody. Now, of course, you know, I'm not saying it's the best flower ever, but I'm saying in terms of how good it is for the price and the customization or just being able to get what you want. It's just really, really nice, man. But anyway, before we get into the story time, cheers. If you're a fan of the story times, you already know what my next words are going to be. This starts off with a young Chilly Dilly. Just for frame of reference, I am 28 now, and this happened when I was 19. This even meshes a little bit with something I told from a previous story time from like a month or two ago. And I talked about how I lived in South Carolina with Wesley, graduated, moved back with my parents in Ohio. And shortly after that, he had hit me back up. I think I was working at the time, and it had been like maybe almost the next summer after I had already left. And oh man, I just inhaled Scooby Snacks. So my first year out of school, if you will, and I remember he hit me up and was like, yo, we're still homies, I miss you, whatever. You know, I wasn't fucking with living in Ohio. It was a small town. I wanted to go back to South Carolina anyway. Me and him had already been talking. He was like, yeah, bro, I'm getting a place in, I think it was North Charleston. I don't know. It was somewhere, not Charleston, not North Charleston. I think it was like Columbus or something. Or Columbia maybe, which is the home. I don't know. I don't want to actually get that wrong. But anyway, so he was like, yo, just give me like, I think it was like $200-300. And, actually, no. It was actually quite a bit. It was like $500-600. And it would be a deposit on the place. And, yeah, I would move in. So I was going to do that. I was like, fuck it. Yeah, this was right before I started fucking actually slinging, actually doing cool shit. Or it was not cool shit, but actually doing shit like with people there. And so, anyway, we had been talking about that probably since like spring into summer. And then, like, I literally started fucking trapping. And I started making a lot of money, making more friends, whatever the case is, where I lived. And so, you know, I probably wanted to stay there a little bit more. But I was just in between at that point. I was like, okay, like, you know, why don't you come up here, you know, like, come chill with me for like a week or something. Or maybe it was like 3 or 4 days. You know, we'll chill, do whatever. And then we'll go down to South Carolina. And I'll see if I want to stay there. Because I was already good. Like, I was good on money, all that other shit. So, like, I wasn't necessarily worried about, you know, oh, I'm going to lose this money or, like, I didn't get scammed. But anyway, so he comes up to Ohio. Now we traveled 9 hours to, or it was like 10 hours to South Carolina. We literally smoked, like, all day. And it was, like, nighttime. And he was like, all right, bro, I guess let's leave now. And it was nighttime, and for some reason, we were like, fuck it, I guess let's just go ahead and leave now. And so while we're leaving, not only is it just like this crazy rainstorm, and I almost got hit, or I almost hit a semi because I couldn't even see. Like, my windshield wipers were so shitty, I had a shitty car. It was very scary. I really don't even know how I'm alive. And I definitely kept thinking that whole time, like, oh, bro, this might be it. Like, I don't even know, because, like, my car didn't have AC, so I couldn't defrost my windows. So they were like kind of foggy, and it was super rainy, and like really I was just going off of this fucking truck's taillights. So we drive 9 hours to the place. I'm checking out the house. I'm like, oh yeah, this shit's cool, whatever. So the next morning, he's like, yo, I have this friend here, because I guess Wesley had lived there before. He's like, I have this friend here. He's a friend of like from when I was a kid or whatever. He's like, do you want to go hang out with him? And I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, whatever. I had brought down, oh, I forgot to tell you this. This is pretty vital information. I brought down a pound of shrooms, probably 20 hits of LSD, and probably like an ounce or two of flour, I want to say. And maybe a little bit of MDMA. I'm not 100% sure, but like this was literally just all stuff I had, and I figured, fuck it, this will also be a good time maybe to trap, whatever. And before you guys are like, that doesn't sound real, I promise you it is. I've actually talked to Wesley recently. We could get him on a call and get his actual answer to this. So anyway, I was about to die and had all of these drugs on me. Damn, I was so dumb. Anyway, though, yeah, so we're there. Next morning, it's a beautiful day out. We go get rallies to eat. Because, dude, it was, like, so beautiful in South Carolina. So I was like, oh, bro, I'm so happy to be here. So we're, like, fucking just going around the town. You know, he's showing me, like, oh, this is what we, what we would have, blah, blah, blah. So I can't remember the dude's name. I think it was, like, Ben, maybe. I'm not sure. But anyway, so like probably 3 or 4, we go to Ben's, and keep in mind, we've been smoking all day in the new apartment, and I remember he had actually had to take a drug test, like shortly after I left. Like, I remember he had to take a drug test for some court thing. I don't know, this is 10 years ago, so it doesn't matter now, right? Like, it's okay to talk about this. But anyway, so this dude was his best friend, and I did something shitty that we are going to talk about towards the end. Like I've said in multiple, videos, that I wasn't the best person, especially like when I was like 18. And by that I just mean like sometimes I just did like shitty shit because I thought I was like a whatever. Like I thought I was cool, or I thought I was in a fucking movie type shit, and I was trying to live my life like a movie, and whatever. It doesn't matter. It's fucking dumb as fuck saying it now that I'm older. Like, of course I cringe on it now, but... So we go to his house, and I meet the dude, and he's like super cool. He's like, his parents are really fucking rich, you know what I'm saying? Like, shit I'd never had. So of course I off rip was like already pissed because I'm living in fucking, not the best, but like a 1-bedroom. Like, I've never gotten much, and I was definitely like, oh, fuck this guy, man. Cause he's like, oh yeah, my parents got me all this shit. Anyway, so we're chilling there, and a couple other of his homies come over. And then also DJ, my friend from North Charleston, also pulls up. And so we're all chilling in this guy's bin, 3rd fucking level, cool attic looking room. You know what I'm talking about, that rich kid shit you'd see in like Drake and Josh or iCarly. It was really cool, right? And so I'm already, you can already tell I'm already jealous. Like, so we're smoking a bunch, and I decided, right, because I'm like, I'm with the homies, I'm vibing, whatever. I was like, fuck it, bro. Like, you guys want a trip? And, some people bought it, but like, of course I gave it to like Wesley and like DJ for free. But, I was like, we got shrooms, we got LSD, whatever. I think most people took the LSD. That's what I took as well. I took 3 hits because you got to remember at this time, I was taking a lot already. This was like right when I was kind of introduced, like maybe a month or, no, like 3 months in, we'll say, of me trying LSD. I'd probably already tried it 5 times, and I was like super into it, you know what I mean? And anyway, so we fucking go, we take it, and like I said, he lives in this beautiful home. So of course it's by the beach, because it's just fucking South Carolina. We're by the beach. If I do remember correctly, I think Ben took the mushies, which is a pretty important thing to note for later on. So foreshadowing. Anyway, I'm yapping so much. This is going out. So we're all tripping, and we all decided that we are gonna go to the beach. All of us went to the beach. I don't remember who took us. I don't remember how we got there. I know it wasn't even that far though from the crib. It was like 10 minutes, and like, like I'm gonna just leave it at that. But anyway, so we decided we're gonna go to the beach. It's nighttime. Now remember this, it's nighttime, okay? So of course, we gotta roll up a bunch of flour or whatever and take it to the beach as well, because, well, why not? So we're on the car ride there, and bro, I remember being on like the interstate highways of, I want to say it was Charleston at this point that we were going to. The night lights were so like yellow, like dark yellow. It was so interesting. And then it looked like the roads just went on forever, and they looked like so wavy. Like, you know how you'll have like some that are like overlapping each other, so like you'll have one in the middle, one below, one above. Sometimes they can even be at angles, so it like looks pretty cool, or just looks different, you know what I'm saying? But like, I'm tripping balls because I just took 3 hits of fucking LSD for some reason. And remember, I don't even know half of these people. Like, I only know Wesley and DJ. I just met this Ben guy. Like, I just did not care when I was younger. I could have easily walked up to somebody and probably made friends with them. And I'm just so not like that today. It's just crazy even thinking about these now. But anyway, so we're going there. I'm already starting to like feel it. Wesley's starting to feel it. He's literally like giggling up in the front. I remember we brought some skateboards and some penny boards, which is like I believe that's what they're called, right? They're like the really, really small boards. And I remember that we brought those. And I remember it was really, really windy, but it felt so good because it was still summer. Bro, all the shops were still lit up. It was probably like 10, 11 o'clock. I don't even know if we were allowed to be there, to be completely honest, now that I'm thinking about it. So anyway, we start skateboarding around, and we're going around all these shops. Just like, I'm not fucking doing anything crazy because I don't really know how to skateboard. Like, I know how to ollie and ride around, but... So anyway, I'm just like fucking tripping, riding on this skateboard, looking at all these beautiful shops that are lit up, looking at the fucking water. The water looks black. The moon looks humongous. Like, to me, it literally looked like a video game in the sense of like at the edge of the water, it looks like it would have just fallen off. You know what I'm saying? Like, just fallen off the edge of the world. And I'm not saying that the world is flat or some dumb shit like that. Like, that's just how it looked to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, it looked like ink in the ocean. And it literally looked like the moon was like a painter. And it not like actually had arms and was painting, but like it kind of looked like that, as if it was like just going to, I don't know how to describe it, but it looked beautiful, right? So I'm like, oh, bro, I'm fucking tripping balls. I'm like, bro, does this look like the water's falling off to you guys as well? And they all agree. And I've never been there when during the day and tripping, I don't think. I would remember that because it'd be so hot. But it felt so good. And I don't know about you guys, but I usually get pretty fucking hot whenever I take LSD because I generally feel just more like energetic or whatever. So I feel the urge of being just a lot more hot, or I just feel more hot. And so yeah, we're just riding around the boards, looking at all the beautiful scenery, walking on the sand. We smoke up a couple blunts, man. Shit is just fucking crazy. And that was really stupid though, because we smoked the blunts on like a log post in the sand on the beach, and it looked so cool. Like, the scenery just looked unreal, man. Like, it genuinely looked like a video game title screen card, you know what I mean? Looks like something you'd see when you're getting into an intro of a game. Like, it was just, or a movie. It was just so amazing looking. And yeah, so I remember that we were smoking as well. I think we had probably smoked probably like, I know I rolled up 2 blunts, and then I know DJ had rolled up 1, and then I think Wesley and Ben had maybe rolled up 1. I'm not sure, but we probably smoked like 4 or 5 from the vehicle, like from when we got there, because we didn't smoke in the vehicle. We wouldn't do that. And then we on the beach as well. So that was probably like a total of 4 blunts. And dude, I can't even remember how long we were there. It felt like forever now that I'm actually thinking about it, but I don't think it was that long, to be real. It could have been probably a couple hours, because regardless, we still stayed up so late. And so let's talk about that, right? So after that, we got done, and we were all chilling, and I think DJ was like, oh man, I'm actually gonna go back. So maybe he didn't trip, maybe he actually didn't eat anything and wanted to just go back home. So maybe he actually did drive us. I could be actually right about that. But anyway, so we go back to Ben's crib. You know, I pulled up with Wesley. Like, he drove me to Ben's house, and my car is at our new apartment. So anyway, we get back to Ben's, and this is where shit gets a little weird, right? First of all, he had a couple dogs. They were super cool. They weren't weird at all. His family was there too. I forgot to tell you that. His whole family was still there at his house. And they knew that we were tripping. They didn't really care. I guess they were like the cool parents or whatever, but... Alright, my bad. I had to go do something. Even though that wasn't any time skip for you or you had to wait, but... I forgot where I was, but I do remember this, okay? So we got back to his crib, and this is where shit just started to get a little weird. So Ben and his other homies left. So, like, I think Ben thought that we weren't going to be there, right? And I'm not really sure about that whole situation. As I said, it was Wesley's friend. So we're still chilling in his room, whatever. And then he literally gets sick. Like, he actually gets sick from the mushies. That does tend to happen. I've heard of a lot of people puking. I myself have actually puked from eating mushrooms, so I think it's just sometimes something that happens. But it definitely just fucked his whole thing up and fucked his whole trip up. And he pretty much told us to leave. And not necessarily leave the house, but like just, I think. But to leave the room. And so we were like, okay, whatever. Like, you know, we're still tripping. It's probably like 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, or we'll say 3. And I was definitely starting to come down just a little bit. So we go downstairs. And, I mean, I'm still tripping technically. And, like, I was like, do we have to leave? Which I wouldn't have cared, obviously. And he was like, nah, I'm pretty sure we're good. And I was like, okay. You know, I obviously already didn't care. Like, whatever. So I'm just, like, going through this person's house. While, like, okay, well, this sounds weird, but yeah, like, I'm literally just pretty much going through this person's house, I don't know, getting a scope on the family, and it was all cool and chill, whatever. And so, oh man, Scooby Snacks are insane today. So, to end the story, essentially, we went to his backyard and just started smoking a fuck ton of weed. Because remember, like I said, his parents knew that we were, I think knew we were there, but knew that we were like tripping, whatever. Because we're all legal age. And so we're literally just back there smoking a fuck ton. And like, I don't remember if we went to sleep. Maybe we did. And I think if we did, if I'm not mistaken, we actually went back to just Wesley's car and like maybe slept there. I'm not 100% sure because you gotta remember, it felt so good. Anyway, the next day, this is where I kind of am shitty. Not kind of, I am. And I'm going to own up to it. You know what I'm saying? Take accountability in your life. So we go into this dude's house, right? We go back into Ben's house because we're hungry. And, you know, he wants to say bye to Ben and whatever and see if he wants to smoke. So we come in there and, like, nobody's home. All the parents probably left, probably had to work a job, probably were like, why the fuck are these bums still here? So I couldn't even 100% tell you why I did this. It made no sense at all. If I'm gonna blame it on anything, I'm gonna blame it on stupidity and my brain literally being fried. And yeah, I want to say that I kind of remember that Ben guy was like kind of an asshole, right? Like I kind of remember thinking that. But anyway, that doesn't matter. You should never do this. So we go in the house, we go check on Ben. He's at that top level. And he's still puking. Like, we walk up there, right? He's not in there. And I see, like, red puke. And so, while I'm sitting there in that moment, right? Instead of being completely concerned, I, like, look over and see, like, 3 t-shirts in his closet. Like, 3 or 4 t-shirts. And I really, really liked them. It was, like, some cool Huff t-shirt and all. I can't even remember now. Like, they were just what I thought were really cool shirts. And for some reason, I just took them. Like, I literally just grabbed the shirts, put them in my hoodie. It was just like, all right, well, let's just go, man. I was like, I guess he's not here. And Wesley was like, why did you just take his shirts? And I was like, I don't know, but I want them. And so we left. And while we were leaving and going down the stairs, we saw Ben. And I was like, oh, this probably isn't going to be good. So we were like, hey, man, what's wrong? So Ben said that he had been like kind of up all night puking, which already made me feel bad. And then that he had said that maybe it was the mushrooms. I don't fucking know. I mean, that definitely could have been it. And that the reason that it was red up there was actually because of Kool-Aid and not puke or blood. And I was like, okay, thank God, because I literally thought that that was your fucking like blood or gut. I don't even know, right? Like something bad. And he was like, nah, I'm just really sick. and I'm just gonna go back to bed. And we were just like, all right, we're leaving. And then so we left, and then literally like 2 hours later, he texted him and was like, did that dude take my shirts? Shitty. It was very shitty of me, I'm not gonna lie. Anyway, yeah, that was like the first and only time that I've ever tripped on a beach. Let me know what you guys thought. This was kind of a longer story time. Hope you guys did enjoy it. Yes, it was fucked up of me to do that situation, but hey, it was really only a couple of shirts, man. If you guys enjoy the End Bumps, send your own to chillydillyendbumps@gmail.com. Much love. Peace.